Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Monday. Great to be with you. And this morning, I'm going to talk about the thing that has been happening to us over these last number of weeks. And really, it's about COVID. So, here we are, still in this trial of our lives, which we could never have imagined or anticipated, and other difficult life situations like sickness or loss of a loved one are continuing in regardless of COVID. I don't need to tell any of you about the stressors that we're experiencing or that you're experiencing from all the changes that we've had to make around work and school, special occasions, not to mention cutting out many of the things that we like to enjoy. And this time has also put strains on our relationships. We can't see friends, and much of our families or be together in large groups, and of course our personal bubbles. We certainly see the same faces, and some days it can feel like it's too much. A time of such unusual stressors, to say the least. Then there are the unexpected things that parachute into your day, or quite frankly, into your life, and they are there for a while. You can't exactly get rid of them or offload them. But all of this to say, do you think you might be getting sifted like Job? I was thinking about Job, that it's spiritual warfare meant to test us. I know it's definitely a test, but Job's life is an example to us of what this might look like. And you can go to Job chapters 1 and 2 to read what happens. But the devil went to God to ask him if he could torment Job, thinking he would try to lead him away from the Lord through the many struggles he faced, great losses, and it had also included his health. And as we know from the book of Job, he stood strong because he knew God to be faithful and that God would look after him. I think on some of our spiritual family, for example, Brenda, Dan and Brenda, Mike and Elizabeth, Anne Marie, and Ellen are just some of the ones who easily come to my mind of the ongoing onslaught of trial, trouble, and loss. But by God's grace, mercy, and compassion, he has not left them nor forsaken them. And he demonstrates that he is still in control and answering prayers. They continue to show their trust and faith in him through their trials, and I know that they have tasted and seen that the Lord is good. Blessed is the man who takes refuge in him, and that's from Psalm 34, verse 8. They have been such an encouragement to all of us who know them. The trials are real, the sifting, the spiritual attacks. We know from 1 Peter 5, verse 8, be sober-minded, be watchful. Your adversary, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, seeking someone to devour. Our enemy is actively desiring to steal, kill, and destroy. And that's from John 10:10. COVID is a perfect time to be attacking us. But the Lord has established his throne in the heavens, and his kingdom rules over all. And that's Psalm 103, verse 19. God still rules over all things, all of his creation. I too, though, however, in the midst of COVID, I too am struggling with more trials and spiritual warfare. Unavoidable things to deal with that are on my plate during this time. It's also more challenging, I'm finding, to deal with the restrictions that have been thrust upon all of us. The longer this goes on, that's what I'm finding. Some days the wrong thoughts and some anxiety have certainly snuck in there unexpectedly. God, however, has been reminding me through his word with some practical verses to remember to actually do. Okay, so I'm going to share them with you from 1 Chronicles 16, verse 11, and Psalm 105, verse 4. To seek the Lord and his strength, seek his presence continually. Philippians 4, 6 to 9. Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence, if there is anything worthy of praise, think about these things. What you have learned and received and heard and seen in me, practice these things, and the God of peace will be with you. Lots of peace, you hear that? Lastly, Ephesians 6, verses 10 and 11. Be strong in the Lord and in the strength of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the schemes of the devil. These are verses to encourage and strengthen you today and to do them. Okay, you see that there's something that we have to do in all of those. Go to God, who loves you so, and I know he loves me. And do this by going to him in prayer with a thankful heart, asking for the help and the strength that you need. Train up your minds to think on good things and not let your minds run away on the bad things. And you will experience great peace and protection. And I know I have been experiencing that. And finally, be intentional to put on the full armor of God to fight the tactics of our enemy. Step out in faith to do these things, and God will show you his faithfulness. Do you remember the War Room movie? I remember it. And the one thing that I always remember, when the old lady, and I just can't remember her name and didn't take the time to look her up, but in her role to the wife who was struggling, she said, spiritual battles need to be fought on our knees. So don't stop praying for the help that you need, and absolutely also pray for the needs of others, because we're all undergoing trials and battles, and we need the prayers of others. So God bless you on that note. I pray that you will have a good week and see the Lord's faithfulness throughout. So take care, and we'll see you next Monday. Bye for now.